Hello everyone, welcome to Mich Talk. We are here in Claremont, California, in Southern California, at Pomona College, and you hear singing in the background because this is a vocal group event. We're about ready to hear the real group in about, I'm going to say an hour, at this, have you heard them?
Yeah, I've listened to them for some years now, actually.
Oh, really? Good.
Yeah.
Do you like them?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I mean, they're, even though they're Swedish, they do pretty well.
Yeah, we just ran up to actually a dressing room, and we're making it work to do a quick interview here with the wonderful Anders Edenroth.
Thanks, Michele.
So there's so much to talk about. I hardly know where to start.
Well, I'm really happy to because we bump into people not only in the States but all around the world that you know insist on doing our stuff, and especially my stuff, and I feel kind of proud, and I also feel that it's some kind of relay thing that I pass on to especially a younger generation that are, you know, struggling with chili con carne, backup vocals and things like that, that I did like 30 years ago. So it feels like it's going to, it's a perpetual thing somehow. Yeah. I like that.
I mean, something like chili con carne has become such a hit. It is perpetual. I mean, it's a classic. At this point, it really is.
Yeah.
And maybe someday someone will be able to sing the descending, modulation toward the end. I doubt it, but maybe someone besides a real group will sing that one day correctly. I hope so.
You never know.
So. You've toured to the United States before, I believe, but not too much, right? This is like
not too much over here at the West Coast either. But I mean, we've been working with the group for like 30 years, and it's we have been all over the world, but quite a few times in the U.S. But it's so huge. So even if we've been here so many times, it feels like most places we're actually for the first time anyhow. So
Anders, I am so curious to know how the real group, from the very beginning, learned to sing harmonies in the way that you do, and with the musicality and the intonation and the blend and the balance. And I say that because you're one of the only groups in the world, perhaps the only group, that is so well respected in the acappella community internationally, the vocal jazz community internationally, and then the tough one, which is the traditional choral community. They also revere you and put you, up on the very high status level for your great, ability to sing choral music. How do you do that?
Well, I think, what you describe is I would think comes from the fact that we have never been content in being just a jazz group or just a classic group, whatever. We have always looked for new fields or new areas of ways to express ourselves with our music, and I think still we keep the curiosity as one of the most important factors when we do plan or develop our repertoire. And I think also it's we have quite a diverse group also. It's not, we have such different backgrounds. I've been playing a lot of pop keyboard in my youth and some jazz piano and a lot of choral singing, while Anders Edenroth has been doing a lot of folk music, and Emma has been a lot into country, and Katarina has her background and so on. When all this sort of melt together, I think the friction that comes from this makes us, curious about new stuff all the time. But I don't know. Also, I think one factor, it's of course our really strong Swedish choral tradition that we belong to. We studied for Erik Eriksson for many years.
Yes.
He gave us things that on a everyday basis, I discovered things that I realized, oh yeah, that's what Erik said like 30 years ago. I didn't understand him then. Now I'm getting to, grasp some of more of his genius. So that has been an intuitive knowledge or skill. That group we carried with us. But then I think also it's our audience has a very important factor, because when we meet you guys out there, you sit in the audience and you respond, and we feel what you sort of get out of the music. We know a little more what we next time, how we should try to, you know, transcend, or how we should, you know, deliver things, or even pick our material. So that is really develops us as singers and also composers and lyricists, I would say.
You know, I know so many groups today, like New York Voices and Manhattan Transfer. The primary members of the group do not live in the same state, even. And so I was chatting with Peter from New York Voices a couple of weeks ago, and he said, yeah, we pretty much get together and rehearse, you know, backstage. Now, you know, when we're learning new music, there's not that much time to get together, and I wonder how it is for you these days.
No, we live in the same city. We all live in Stockholm, and we try to rehearse. Like when we're not on tour, we rehearse 3 days a week, basically 6 hours. And we record and we plan and we write. And I think it's, I don't know, it's not a matter of, rehearsing is not only, to me, a way of having the set list ready for Saturday, sort of, because then you can sort of practice your own part and then you meet up and you sing it. To me, it's also a research project in many ways, to see, we try out different ways of approaching the music, to listen to each other in different ways and experiment and give that time in order to build a bigger toolbox that we can work with and that we can leave in the rehearsal room. So we don't have to bring the toolbox up on stage. So when we're up on stage, we can feel so much more free and not thinking about the technical aspects of the music, but rather the emotional levels and the energy of the music, I would say.
In the rehearsals, is it a community effort, or does the arranger tend to get more?
It's a community effort, but of course, if I write a score, I have a pretty good idea of what I want, how I want it to sound. But as soon as I hear it, I get inspiration from the others. Sometimes I get the opposite of inspiration. I realize, oh, I shouldn't have written that for her, because I rewrite that, basically, or whatever. So it's a give and take process. And also time is really essential. I would say it takes us about a year before a piece is really good.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. We rehearse it for months first. Everybody knows it by heart, and then we enter it into the program right after a really good song and right before another really good song. So we sort of squeeze it in, and people are polite and say, "Oh yeah, nice song," you know. And after a year or two, songs can, you know, all of a sudden the coin drops in and everybody realizes, yeah, this is how it's supposed to sound. And then it can become an encore. But that never happens like this. Because we have to own it, we have to feel it, we have to do it completely on an intuitive level and not thinking too much, not being too, cerebral about it.
And there's probably a big difference between rehearsing it a lot and performing it a lot. Right?
Yeah, they're two different things.
And you need to have the performance.
Performances build other strengths, but you need the rehearsals, the security of the rehearsal, where you can do some serious risk taking and trying things that you can't try on stage.
So regarding the way you record. I know you did a live CD in Japan recently, which I haven't heard yet, but I plan to pick that up and listen to it soon. When you're in the studio, I'm curious to know what your recording process is now. If you would like to talk about it, I know some groups these days are so perfection-oriented, they will certainly go in one at a time, but I wonder if you do like a group vocal, first take of something until you get the phrasing right, maybe with a guide track.
Yeah, I mean, you're touching the subject. This has been a process that we have changed and it has evolved over the years. But I would say what we have found out is that usually we record things in the way that particular style of music usually is recorded. So when we do, you know, traditional pop tune, we start with a click track and some, you know, keyboard and the backup things, and then we add the tentative lead vocals, and then we sort of add up some backup vocals and other parts and bass, and then we edit it and take something out, and then we add something else, and then we jam something and we add parts to that jam thing, whatever, cut it to pieces, and after a while take away this first chorus and put it in another order, you know, all the digital editing, all the stuff that you do within pop, and then you end up with the song. While jazz is more like working on the score, working on all the numbers in the chords, making everything fit and make it sound jazzy, and then trying it out gradually, recording everything live, but many times changing things, or at least fixing things in that original recording.
Do you certainly record one on a mic?
Yeah, usually, but we can do add-ons that are more people on one mic to get a different sound image, of course. Yeah. But I would say sometimes we build our own click tracks also, just by recording a take where the energy and the attitude is the only thing that we want to capture.
Yeah.
And then we use that as a click track and re-record every part separately, just in order to get the feel of the live character of the song, but still getting the sound quality you get when you don't have bleeds from the other mics. We don't have a luxurious studio. We have a good studio, but it's too tight to really to separate sound in that way, unfortunately. But sometimes it's, you know, I don't know. Sometimes the original take, it's so good that let's keep it. Sometimes we even keep demo recordings for words is an example of that. Some of the things from my first demo is actually still left on the recording.
I was reading through the lyrics this morning when I was preparing to chat with you of words. They're meaningful. They're very profound. I mean, I really appreciate that. It's very deep thinking. You know, it means something to me. Just to read them, I got goosebumps. Seriously.
Okay, yeah.
Just to read.
Thanks. I spent a lot of time writing, particularly those lyrics, since they are about words. Obviously, they have to be pretty good because they're sort of in the flashlight or in the spotlight. But I don't know. To me, it's also very much a political song, in the sense that words is something that everybody owns, and it has a really, really strong power. You can use it in a good way. You can use it in a bad way. You have to be responsible when you do it. You can also, because you use it in a fun way, or you can use it in a loving way. I mean, all the nuances. It's such a amazing tool that mankind has sort of discovered. I think it's fantastic. Only music beats it, though. Because you can say so much more with music.
Yes. Yeah. But you can say the same exact words to mean different things depending on the way you say it too. That's one of the interesting things. Or you email words and they may mean something to someone, but if you sing them, they may mean a different thing. Or you say them on the telephone, they mean a different thing.
Maybe that would be a cool app for your iPhone. You sort of write a message, and in the end, the receiver gets a song with the lyrics, song.
Like it just automatically writes a song.
Yeah.
And you choose happy or
exactly.
sad.
What kind of
angry
beat you want?
I am curious to know what are some of your favorite songs that Real Group has recorded?
Oh, recorded songs by the Real Group, yeah. That's hard. Some of the recent songs we've done, I think Nature Boy is a big favorite of mine. It turned out really, really well. It was inspired by Emma and her way of singing. And I think it also features all of us in a very, very good way. It's not her solo only, it's a very, very much a group song. And it was a tough sort of song to go to, because it's already done completely, perfectly by Nat King Cole once. and all the covers ever made after that are poorer versions. So I knew that I'll probably make a poorer version. I mean, that's how you start. But at least I want to make something that is meaningful to me and to the group. And about the early stuff, we did some recordings with Toots Thielemans years back. Folk song that was really, really great to have him in the studio and to collaborate with him.
Yeah.
He's one of my great sources of inspiration.
Very beloved musician to many people.
So that was a fantastic thing. And I also remember our very first album we recorded with 2 microphones, and we had tape on the floor, and we barely knew the charts. We sort of stepped into the studio, we just learned them by ear, you know.
I have it in my bag.
Yeah, and it's so fun.
It's in Swedish too.
It's in Swedish. Many of them are in Swedish. And I think we do All on Me or something like that.
Acappella and Acapulco is in Swedish, I think.
Oh, yeah, but that's on a later album.
Oh.
And that must be. I'm talking about the very, very first album called Debut. That is a 2-track recording. It's fun to listen to.
Yes. I'll check my.
Some of the things still sound the same. You can hear. Yeah, that is the.
Yeah. Has it made a tremendous change to have the personnel difference with Morten and Emma?
Yeah, they bring in their own impulses. They bring in their own personalities and their creativity in a way. And I think of course, it didn't change overnight. It took some time, but I am really inspired by both of them in many ways. And Emma is a great singer. Morten is a great composer, arranger, studio engineer. So we got more than a singer when it came to him.
Yeah, that's great.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your 15-minute call. 15 minutes to the top of the show.
15 minutes to show.
15 minutes.
Yeah. Stage. 10 minutes to places for San Bernardino.
Yeah, I need to go.
Okay.
I need to take off actually.
Okay.
Because I need to get some nicer clothes on and get ready for the show.
Thank you so much for talking with us today. It was lovely to chat with you. By the way, I was snooping around the internet and I saw Anders Edenroth.com. I saw the beginning of a website.
Oh yeah, it has been a beginning of a website for like a year now.
Oh, okay. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it's a good photo, but when you click the links, nothing happens.
Yes, I noticed. But I think it's coming sometime soon.
Yeah, people say that I need a website.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here. I look forward to the concert in 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
And yes, thanks everybody. Be sure to visit the Real Group's website, of course, and AndersEdenroth.com soon.
Not yet. Wait a minute with it.
Come visit us again at MichMusic.com and MicheleWeir.com. Thanks very much, Anders.
Thanks, Michele.